Welcome to the Funding Fathers, where mortgages meet manhood and curiosity meets conversation. Your hosts, Jesse Cronin, Chad Paris, and Tyler Jenkins sit down with guests from every walk of life. Industry insiders, entrepreneurs, and everyday people with extraordinary stories. The topics, anything that fuels life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Pull up a chair, pour yourself a drink. The conversation starts now. All right, guys, welcome back to the closing table with the Funding Fathers. You have myself, Tyler Jenkins.
Yes, sir. Chad Paris.
Jesse Cronin.
Here in the house, boys.
Hey.
Man,
No
we're
guests.
we're in the house. No guests today.
No guest today.
No guests. You know what? We're coming back. We're just bringing value. We're going to bring some value bombs with just us. Let's go. Where's Mason Mauer at when you need him?
We could have a bunch of guests considering there's about 12,000 people in the alley out on the street right now.
It is for you watching this right now, St. James Art Festival. And if you've been, you know what we're dealing with. If you haven't been, you should probably come down and actually check it out one year. I mean, it's obviously,
cool.
It's
just timing sucked.
It's legit because the road to our parking lot is blocked, so you park 3/4 of a mile away.
Yeah,
so,
I think I'm like half a mile away.
Yeah,
no doubt.
So I needed my steps. It's fine.
Hey, you know what? Work off that Corrido.
Yeah. What else is going on? The Color Fest, isn't that what you?
Burnham, it's in like that's at the end of the month, beginning of November. But if you've never done the Color Fest, like Rain, specifically, obviously, he's more into it. Gray Paris, so you got to Burnham Forest. It's like 30 minutes south. Okay. You get off at the.
I've actually never been to Burnham, but I know what you're talking about.
Burnham's
got the cool
really cool.
Wood,
giants
and stuff.
Yeah. So Burnham's
Actually, we went for the first time last year.
Burnham's legit, and you like.
Actually, did we become like corporate sponsors like last year?
We did.
Me and Jesse got suckered into some sort of. We were trying to get upgraded drinks and maybe access to the food that was there.
Oh, you're a big spender.
And they were like, "Would you like to subscribe to this? And you could come in here." And we were like, "Well, why not?"
I got a free T-shirt.
Why do I feel like Jesse's been a lot of timeshare meetings?
Yeah.
I've never been to a timeshare meeting, but I'm a sucker for sponsors. So we may or may not be big tree sponsors of Burnham. But in all seriousness, listen, if you're looking for something to do, there's a corn
maze.
where you can the kids can get in the corn and play in the corn.
Yeah.
There's a pumpkin roll.
Yeah.
There's food trucks.
It's like going to the pumpkin patch. We had a place called for my indie people, Waterman's Farm. We went there a lot as a kid. They had, like what you're talking about.
That's cool. And then
Boo at the Zoo.
Boo at the Zoo.
Boo at the Zoo is
my
cool.
My favorite is the Jack-o'-lantern Spectacular. 5,000. 5,000 jack-o'-lanterns. Some of them painted, carved.
No, it's ridiculous.
I mean,
That's
I've
wild.
never seen anything.
Yeah,
it's my favorite thing.
Yeah.
During October, I think.
Yeah, it's if you haven't been, if you haven't seen it, you really can't understand. You're like, I'm gonna go look at a bunch of pumpkins, but it's more than that. I mean, it's just really this is as.
Well, and they do themes too, which is cool. Every year, it's a little bit different.
Yeah.
They'll have I've seen it where it was Disney. I've seen it where it was different. Well, and then inside of there's a major theme, but then inside of there's sections.
Yeah.
Right? But it's cool.
And
yeah.
They sell drink they sell what's that called? What is it? Apple cider with hot cider with alcohol in it.
Yeah.
Well, and right across the
I'm a
street
sucker for
too.
some apple cider, bourbon cider.
But right across the street, if you're out there at South End, what is that place called? Gardens?
The garden. Yeah, I can't name, but they got Taco Luchador. Colonial Gardens. Yeah.
I used to live
Some good
over
food
there,
out there.
Right off of Southern Parkway.
Yeah, so there's some good
Shout
food
out
out there.
West
Yeah, go out there and grab some food and go to the spooktacular. But yeah, no, there's a lot of stuff going on in Louisville. I mean, obviously Louisville football games.
Yeah.
Kentucky doesn't have a team.
Churchill Downs.
I don't know.
Let's get off that subject real fast.
But
no, Churchill Downs starts back up in November.
Oh, do they?
Yeah. So you got it's a good time in the fall season, and boys, I think right now it's a good time for the North Point the Funding Fathers right now. And listen, let's can we brag on ourselves for a minute real quick? Because I don't know, but we put out a little graphic that shout out to Brittany Rondo for putting together a really
had some hair.
I got hair. I got Arrogance.
Mount Funmore.
I mean, listen.
Mount Funmore is
Mount Funmore.
That's
I
my
mean,
favorite.
yeah. Who said that? Who actually?
Who was that? It was
Anton up in the Northeast.
Anton.
Yeah.
Mount Funmore.
Mount Funmore is amazing.
Yeah, listen. If you want to be a part of Mount Funmore and the Funding Fathers,
Let's go.
hit us up. But
That's the office.
No.
You need to get a sign for the office.
listen, man. Me looking like George Washington, though. I mean, I'm gonna tell you right now. I felt presidential up in there.
Wow.
Dude, I mean, think about this. Was it 71 units? It was 70. It was at least 70 units.
71.
Sitting
It was 71.
on these two towers.
71 units. Yeah, 71 units closed between
In
the three of
September.
us. Over 20 million.
It was like 20. It was almost
Well,
22 million. I
and
think
let's put
21.
that in perspective. So 71 units sounds like it's like what is
That's
71
divided
units?
by 3,
The
though.
national
Let's
average.
make that.
The
let's make
national
that
average
clear.
for a loan officer right now is 1.4 loans a month. So units alone. So 71
So we should
units.
have done
It's kind of a
three.
big. It's kind of a big deal. Yeah.
No, it was. I mean, honestly, we know,
We're very
market's
blessed.
market's still tough. I mean, right now, I mean, rates have gotten better. Everyone knows that. They're aware. We're going to talk a little bit about that. Talk about the government shutdown. Talk about the Fed's lowering rates and how initially when they lowered them, mortgage rates went up. They ticked up a little bit because they've been going down weeks prior. But going into October, I mean, guys, listen. I mean, we're talking about this, and this isn't going to come on here and brag. Like this is to come on. I mean, this is to come on here and talk about this is real life stuff, things that we're seeing, successes that we're having, how we're doing it, what we're doing to separate ourselves, and I think we got a lot of good stuff today, man.
I think I'm more impressed that we did that, and not a single one of us was probably there past maybe 5:30 on any given day.
Oh.
Because we have kids.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that's why the name is
Priorities.
the name, right? Like, you can't tell me you can't be a good dad and a good loan officer.
I mean, I'm a
It's
firm
clearly
believer.
possible.
I'm a firm believer you can have that good work-life balance and be involved in everything, every aspect. I mean, Coach just came off of a real successful. Coach Chad just came off of a real successful first and second grade season.
Oh, yeah.
Did y'all lost one game?
I mean, that's questionable. We played against some boys that time. I think that's listen. I had these first and second graders ready to roll, buddy. Oh, dialed in. Listen.
On the flip side, my third and fourth grade team that I coached with Chris Kern, big shout out to my man Kern. We lost 2 games, but
that's pretty good though.
Well, we're getting ready to come into basketball season, so if we're just talking about coaches and work-life balance, you're looking at a couple of the head coaches for a first and second grade basketball team.
Harper Cronin and Gray Paris about to get busy.
Yeah, GPC and
I feel like they're probably a scrappy bunch.
They are.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
we
yeah.
are. We'll be fun, man. But no, but I think Jesse kind of talk a little bit about, I mean, we talk about getting out there early, but we work around the clock, meaning we're always available. And I mean, I think a good successful loan officer is always available, but talk a little bit about what you're seeing in the market. I mean, what happened, what transpired in the last 30 days with the market, with rates, kind of things, how they've progressed to where we are today.
Well, I mean, obviously it's no secret that the beginning of September, before the rate drop,
Before the
Fed's cut rates, the markets move in anticipation of what the Fed's going to do. So mortgage-backed securities had moved south, long before the Fed cuts rates. And
probably
then,
3?
Right,
I mean, I would say it was
3 weeks or so.
3 weeks before is when they started to trickle down a little bit.
Yeah, and then obviously when the Fed rate cuts, then our phones ring. It's like, oh, how much did they drop today?
Yeah.
They actually went up, right? And a lot of that has to do actually not with what they cut it, but with what the Fed actually says in their minutes, right? So Jerome Powell comes out, old and slow Jerome comes out, and he makes comments that make people believe, investors believe that maybe there's not going to be as many rate cuts this year. And it's anybody's guess. We call them old and slow because they're always late to cut and they're always late to raise. But rates are hovering right now. You could clip into the 5s in certain cases and you could get into 6s, but
it's all situational. Clearly, it depends on first-time buyers and
But
stuff like that.
I think it's important. You don't really need to necessarily understand the bond market itself, but just like any other trader, their whole chief aim is to make a guess, an estimated guess, on whether or not. So if I'm looking at buying a stock, I have a thesis that the stock is going to go up, and there's a reason why I have that thesis. So if I'm looking at it and I'm evaluating what I think the actual value of the company is, and right now the stock is priced below what I think that value is, I'm buying the stock. Bond traders do the same thing. They're looking at what type of spread can I build on a bet today based on what I think is going to happen. And when the thing happens, some people were wrong. Their bets were wrong. So even if what happened, some of them thought it was going to be 50 basis points and it was 25, those people that made the 50 basis point bet have an issue. So they have to sell. That impacts. They have to sell, which changes the bond market.
Right.
So
For sure.
So I think if you made it just as simple as that for people to understand is like bond traders impact mortgage rates. And their bets are based on what Jerome Powell is saying, like you said. And how many cuts are left and how much are they going to cut with what's left.
Isn't it wild how much words can matter from what is said in a meeting? Like,
well, it's not always words too. So they have what's called the dot. Well, they have what's called the dot plots, and that's literally what the other Fed governors say, and they literally put their plot. It's literally a dot that they put on a graph, and that's what determines how many people are agreeing with or not. And
it's those like an electoral college for.
It's literally
the Fed,
it's basically the same way.
Think about it.
Yeah,
because every state has one.
Yeah, well, not every state. No,
Well,
there's
bigger,
it's the different
bigger,
of the different
like
Fed of the different
regions,
Federal Reserves. Yeah. So, but the big thing is with that, we think obviously we don't know. It's anybody's guess where rates are going to go. If we knew, you said on a previous podcast that you'd be on a boat somewhere. I think
I'd be on a yacht with my private chef and private bartender.
Those were your exact
sipping on a cocktail. But guess what? I'm here on this couch with you boys right now. So,
but
I mean, listen,
no better place to be.
Listen, we closed some loans, so we did all right last month. But no, I'm not on my yacht yet, so I'm not ready yet.
But the point I'm making is we don't know where they're going to go.
No.
But what we do know is we obviously have an idea of what the Fed says.
Yeah.
The nice thing is we can forecast based on what the Fed says, and I tell people every day. Clients are like, "Oh, should I wait?" Here's the thing: if you find a house that you like in the price point that you like. There's nothing we can guarantee, but we can say that, obviously every 0.5% rates fall. There's no secret about this. This is the NBA, the NAR, it's statistics, not mine. Every 0.5% rates fall, 2.5 million buyers come back to market. So what does that mean? It's supply and demand. So at the end of the day, if more buyers are in the market, they're not bringing more inventory, values are going to go up. So I'm telling people right now, if you're looking to buy in the next 2 to 3 years, find what you like and buy it.
Well, and even if they are bringing more inventory because it's a seller, right?
Not all of them,
they're a
but
buyer.
some, but they're also a buyer.
They're 90% of the time they're also a buyer.
So that's replacement, right?
It's not bringing new inventory.
Yeah.
Right?
So that's exactly right. So I mean, that's the thing is like you're guaranteeing yourself you're going to pay more if rates fall. We're not saying they are. We're not saying they're not. If rates fall, you're guaranteed you're going to pay more because of supply and demand. That's it. I mean, that's the bottom line. So,
and the math is pretty simple. You basically can say essentially like, if the rate is 1% lower, but I have to pay 1% higher for the house, the payment pretty much like equalizes itself. That's the math that I've done to make it scalable, where it's like you can almost do that math with any. And if I'm wrong, tell me. I'm sure there's somebody with their calculator right now doing the math trying to tell me that I'm wrong. But like it doesn't take that much in the purchase price to make up the difference in even a point difference in rate. Like that's it on a $300,000 house. I mean, it's literally like $35,000,
yeah.
35 grand more.
You're spot on, but also right now where there's enough pockets of situations where you can get closing costs paid for, have the seller pay for some closing costs.
Buy the rate down.
Put yourself in position to either buy the rate down or don't buy the rate down. Put down what you're putting down. Have the seller pay for it. So then when rates do go down, you've locked in what the purchase price is. You can always refi. So I mean, to me, it's one of those things where if it's the right time to buy for you, it's the right time to buy for you.
Right.
Like timing the market's the worst thing you can do.
Yeah, I think if I'm watching this right now, I think there's people out there right now, Tyler, that would be like, all right, listen, you guys are talking about buying a house right now. Listen, I already bought my house. You guys already closed on my house about 6, 7, 8 months ago. What's up with this refinance market, man? Rates are dropping. I turn it on the news. Rates are dropping. Everybody's refinancing. I'm getting these offers. I'm doing this. It's relentless, and that's a good thing that people are reaching out. But let's talk a little bit about the elephant in the room here on refinancing and what that looks like, because guess what? The sharks are out right now. The sharks are circling. They can see it, and let's hit on that real quick and what that means for the consumers watching this on. When it's time to refi, what that means. How do you know when it's time? Who do you trust? And that's where I want you to focus on is we've talked about this consultant, we're advisors, our culture. Like, hit on that a little bit.
There are a few times in my career where I get very frustrated at that crowd. And right now is one of them.
Yeah.
Because, listen, if a lender is calling you like a crazy ex-girlfriend to get you to refi, they're doing that for them. They're not doing that for you.
They're starving.
Period, point blank, end of story.
Yeah.
Like,
And I say that with sincerity, and keep your thought there, because again, we come on here talking about how we're closing loans and we sustain a high level of volume, right? So we know that. Guys, listen, there are people out there, as Jesse said, I think 1.4 is being nice on what they have. I think it might even be a little bit less than that. But assume it's 1.4. These people, and I mean, when I say these people, I'm talking loan officers that have been just maintaining, waiting for these rates to drop because they are dying to try to get you to sign on the dotted line as fast as humanly possible so they can get a quick refi, boom, and they can start making money. And that's where the separation comes into on, are you trusting the person that's dying to get you to refinance, or are you trusting the person that says, hey, wait a second, let's break this down. Let's evaluate where you are, the costs associated, what's your long-term plan, short-term plan, what's our recapture rate, like what are our goals? You know, and diving into their financial picture more than just, hey, I can get you 6% interest rate, man. How's that sound to you?
Save you.
They don't even know.
Yeah, save you $80 a month.
What?
It's like, that may not make sense.
Because
though.
guess what,
like,
though? The average consumer, and this is no knock on the average consumer, Jesse, but they're not trained to think about all these things. They're fixated on interest rate. That's the interest rate fixation in this country. I get it. Rates matter. We talk about that. Rates do matter, but the fixation is borderline insanity because so many people don't even pay attention to the other ancillary items such as cost and what that means.
But they matter more for the long term, and that's why, like, if someone's telling me, like, I talked to some clients yesterday that said that they're probably going to buy within a year, and I'm like, then I don't think refinancing is likely going to make sense.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, if anything, we'll look at it, and all we're going to do is put a game plan together for when you go to buy. That's what we're going to do. There's no reason, like, if you guys know, I said, do you know 100% that you guys are going to buy within the next 12 to 18 months? They're like, yes. I said, then we're not refinancing.
Right. And the difference there is, now sometimes you get someone who says, hey, I'm probably going to move in 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
Right. Well, okay. Well, what's your, and listen, we're, as advisors, I talk to my clients and I say, Jesse, I know you do the same, is that, like, listen, how long do you see yourself in the house? Now, there's no way to fully, like, we don't know what's going to happen in 3 years, right? You don't know. But you can use an educated guess. And I think the difference, Tyler, and what you're saying is 100%. Some people know we're about to add to the family. We're going to a different school district. We're doing this. We are making a change.
All of those things were true. They're planning on having a kid.
Correct.
Their family they live across the bridge in Indiana, and their family lives in Prospect. So it's a 40-minute drive. Like, and they work in Louisville.
Yeah.
So they were just like, it's time. I'm like, then you're definitely not staying there. So I'm not. There's 0% chance we do a refinance.
Yeah.
And
Jesse, talk about. So listen, no, you're 100% right, Jesse. I want to hear your thoughts on talking to the consumer again. Like, I think it's not a one size fits all here, right?
So one of the questions you just said.
Yeah.
Because I've heard all three of us ask this question, and I guarantee you, I would be curious to know how many loan officers, when someone is going to purchase a home, ask them the question, how long do you think you're going to live in this house? Why? And I want you to talk about, why is that a relevant question, especially when somebody's trying to ask you whether or not they should buy down a rate?
Well, I mean, buying down the rate is definitely something I talk to clients about all the time, because there's a lot of lenders out there that clients talk to who, they're telling people to buy down, even in today's market, not a year ago, not 2 years ago, even today's market, who are having people buy down rates 2 and 3 points. I mean, you're talking about thousands and thousands of dollars. And are there scenarios where, because of the inverted yield curve and the margin compression, where there's points, investment properties, there's a lot of points, right?
And there's just points in general right now. I mean, that's just across the board.
But I'm talking about
like
major.
You're talking major.
I'm talking major points. So
or just like non-QM loans, right? Like, where it's kind of they don't fit the normal box. So like there's just more costs associated because we're kind of doing a loan that most people can't do.
But your cookie cutter situation where somebody's putting down 20%, 10%, and the lender has them buying the rate down 2 or 3 points. Maybe if they're doing a temporary buy down, there's some situations where you can make some
sellers
sense of that.
paying for it, sure.
Sellers paying for it, maybe, but
like the sellers
in just a normal situation. But for me, it's like, you talk about how long you're gonna be in the house. There's 1,000 reasons why. Number one, the product, because as professionals, our job is to make sure that we are asking the right questions, to make sure that we're not only putting them in the right product, we're helping them understand what the best purchase price is. I'm gonna tell you right now. Y'all know this. Y'all hear me talk about this all the time. I hear y'all talk about this all the time. When I talk to a client for the first time, the first thing I ask them, we're talking about purchase. We're talking about, number one, how much do you want your monthly payment to be? I have never started a client with, how much do you want to buy? Because at the end of the day, clients are going to tell you they want to buy $500,000, $600,000, $700,000 because they see it on Zillow, right?
You want a $1,500 a month payment.
Right? Well, I hope you're putting down 70%. And that's what they do. Yeah.
You all know, Jesse, you all have, I mean, you've seen my email that I send out. I think you all use a version of it on, it explicitly says at the very bottom, and I ask this intentionally. Now, when I have a verbal conversation, you're right. Us three, we don't ask purchase price, ever. It's payment.
Right.
Yeah.
Financial goals. My email clearly specifies, it says, all right, what's your hopeful price range? I get that. And the next question is, what's the hopeful ideal mortgage payment you expect? And then the follow-up question to that is, what's the absolute max payment that you can afford for your family and still live life?
Yeah.
Right? And do you know how many times, like, and I get that, that's like, I'm not, like, that's like not a conversation where we started with that. All of a sudden I get that, and it's, Tyler, like you just said, it's a $450,000 sales price. I want my payment to be $1,600, and they're putting down $8,000.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But so it gives me, though, the opportunity, instead of pre-approving them for $400,000, we get to come back and say, hey, listen, that's not realistic. Let's evaluate. Did you have your payment goals wrong? So we need to evaluate that because you didn't understand. Or we need to come and we need to talk about that sales price range, because we have to fit a mortgage and a purchase around your financial goals.
Yeah, well, and if you're, I'll say this too, because this actually drives me insane. If you are a buyer right now, and we have the conversation around payment, I'm doing the math. When I pre-approve you, I'm not sending you, I don't need to send you a pre-approval letter for $500,000 just because you qualify for it. If we know based on your conversations or our conversations that you really, for your payment and the down payment that you want to bring, is like $350. When I send the pre-approval letter out, I say, this is by no means your max, but based on our conversations around your goals, this is where we need to start. And if we want to go higher because we can't find what we need here, fine. But I'm not just going to send you, I don't want you to spend $500,000. You told me your goals are $2,500 a month or $2,000 a month, whatever it is, with taxes and insurance. This is the number, right? Mm-hmm. But there's times where, like, I've literally lost clients because, like, well, they could pre-approve me for more, and I'm like, but you're not going to buy more.
And it almost makes them sound like you're offending them, right?
Yeah.
Because they're like, well, wait a second, Joe Blow down the street or big.
It makes no sense.
Big box mortgage company, said that I could buy $400,000, but then you have to look at them and go, right, but you just told me you wanted your mortgage payment to be $1,500, and you need down payment assistance.
I was gonna say, you also said you only got $10,000 to bring to the table.
Do you want reality, or do you want to get smacked in the face in about 2 months when all of a sudden, you all have heard me say, and I always talk about this because I do take pride on this, is you'll hear me on the phone. I say it, and I talk longer than you all do on the phone because I'm long-winded and I like to talk. Life after closing.
Yep.
I've said it. I say it on every call. I've said it on this podcast before. Life after closing. If your loan officer is not talking to you about life after closing, and when I mean life after closing, I'm talking
reserves,
monthly payment, reserves. How are we allocating the funds that you have available to you? What are we leaving over? Like, what are we doing? There's utilities. There's lawnmowers you got to buy. There's furniture.
What debt could we pay off as opposed to you just throwing everything at it? Because $10,000 on a down payment, $60 a month difference.
Let's go. Let's hear it.
I got a great situation right now. I'm literally closing this loan next week. Had a client that was referred to me by a real estate agent, and they were already approved with another lender. And the other lender was like having them beg and claw and scrape and steal to put down 20%. So I said, listen, our rates are great. You're getting quoted this. Like, it sounds like we're going to be the same or better. So, let me just look at everything and I'll put together what I think. They were already under contract. And I look at it and I said, okay, well, I'm going to turn you upside down. But just from where I sit, what I would do is I would pay off the $45,000 worth of revolving debt. And you're going to put down, in this case, I think they're putting down 10%. They're putting down 10%. They're paying PMI. Their PMI, 10% with a 760 credit score. The PMI is like a factor of like
PMI. PMI, I feel like was like practice.
Yeah.
PMI, I'm like literally PMI. Dude,
we're not talking about the game.
We talking about the game. We talking PMI.
Dude, people kill me with the PMI.
This
shit.
PMI. I literally can. Listen, if you are buying a house today, first and foremost, quit listening to your dad and mom that told you what they did in the 1980s.
Well, not only
okay,
that.
quit worrying about PMI, because guess what? PMI back in 2005, it was brutal.
Well,
like, it was almost like everybody had $225 a month.
There was a
PMI.
time it didn't exist, and you had to have 20%.
Right.
So guess what? Now, if you can't save money, or you don't have somebody that can give you 20% on your purchase, you just don't get to play.
Well, there was a period of time where in like 2008, 10, 12, where PMI was expensive. It's gotten so cheap. So let me finish this real quick. Let me finish this real quick. So they put down 10%. The other lender had said, well, and their parents had said, well, you're going to finance that debt for 30 years. I'm
not going to hold the loan for 30 years.
$1,500 a month. $1,500 a month is what they're saving by putting down 10% less and paying off the debt.
We're talking like, when you say $1,500 a month, we're talking real month-to-month
like
cash
after
flow.
closing, they were still going to be paying $1,500 more between the credit cards and the 20% down. So I said, let me show you this.
Mm-hmm.
Here's your 10%. I said, now take your $1,500 that if we hadn't done this, that you would have gone with lender ABC.
Apply it.
Let me show you what this looks like. You take what the outlay would have been here, and you put that towards my new loan. What do you think the payoff was?
Like 18 years or 16 years.
No, it was like
or something?
8 years because it was $1,500 a month.
It was $1,500.
Yeah. So now they're not going to do that. But I said, okay, well, let's live a little easier. Let's live a little more comfortable. Take $600. Take $600. It's like an 18-year payoff. Yeah. So my point in saying that is having someone who doesn't just say, listen, we don't work at McDonald's. We are not your 30-year fixed check on, 30-year fixed check on. Everybody's different. And so for us, it's taking that look and saying, okay, we're going to give you options. And I tell people all the time, I can tell you what I think, but at the end of the day, I've never paid anybody else's mortgage payment. So if you don't agree with what I tell you should do, it's your decision. But I'm also going to tell you what I think.
Right.
And more often than not, people listen, thankfully.
Hey, just a sign of hands real quick, boys. Hey, Tyler, give me $45,000. I'm going to save you $300 on your mortgage. Awesome. Hey, Tyler, give me $45,000. I'm going to save you $1,200 on your revolving debt. It's going to create $900 extra cash flow. Which one would you like today, sir?
I'll take $1,200, please.
Yay, you're the big winner today. I mean, like, seriously,
No,
though, like
legit.
I know we're being funny right now,
legit.
but that is like
real, though.
legitimate conversation.
But
And hey, actually, we're probably giving away our secrets right now, like the secret sauce on how you actually talk and advise a client. But I mean, this is real life stuff that
Give them options.
people are not doing.
God, and like, the thing is if you really peel it back, though, it's not just $1,500. Because if it was $45,000 on revolving debt,
those are minimum payments.
That's what I was about to say.
Those are minimum payments.
At least 20%, probably 25%, that they're going to continue to pay probably forever. Because that's a lot of the times when they push back, I go, okay, what's your plan to pay that down?
I'm gonna hammer down for the next 5 to 7 years.
Exactly.
Hope.
And I'm like, okay, well, hope's not a strategy.
Yeah.
Well, hold on.
like,
Guess what else happens when they pay
them.
off? Guess what else happens when they pay off that 45?
Credit score goes,
bingo. Guess what else happens?
Rates go down when you refi.
And guess what? We get back to where they wanted to be with the extra 10%, and the credit cards are gone.
Yeah. Well, let's talk. But I'm gonna stop real quick because I do want to pivot on something. Because people are gonna be, oh, well, credit cards, that's a no-brainer. Right? I don't have
Also,
credit cards, but I got my car loans, and I got this. I don't pay my car loan off because it's 4.5%. Why would I do that? And I go, listen, let me ask you a question. Do you make that payment to 4.5%? What's that 4.5% doing for you on that $25,000 balance on your car loan that you're paying $825 a month on? You're going to give me $25,000. I mean, not to be repetitive here. You're about to give me $25,000 to put towards your mortgage. It's going to save you about $175 a month. I can pay that.
It's probably going to be like $130.
I'm being nice.
$140.
But I can take that $600, $700, $800 car payment that you got. I can get rid of that. Again, so don't even.
And by the way, you still have the car.
And you still own the car.
And the house. And your monthly cash flow,
bingo.
Went up.
So it ain't even just, ain't even like, look at my Lebanon coming out at me, boys. Ain't even. But it's not about just the interest rate. Like, again, this is going back to where we talked about earlier. Interest rates matter. They do, but sometimes they don't. Sometimes it's about quality of life, and that's where people lose perspective. And it's not even they lose perspective. Let me rephrase that. I take that back. They don't have the perspective, because they haven't thought about it, because they've been trained. I got to put down this much money towards my mortgage
and have the lowest rate.
I didn't even think, and I talked to some really smart, like this is, and I'm not talking about, I've talked to some really educated individuals, and they are really savvy when it comes to that. Until you paint that picture for them, they're like, I didn't even cross my mind, but man, that makes so much sense.
Well, let me throw something at you, and I'm not going to go down a rabbit hole because we don't have the time today, but we will have to dive into this at one point. What happens when you got that client who's putting down 25 or 30%? Great cash flow, and they're like, but I'm gonna keep my $300,000 in cash over here because I'm making 3.75%. And you explain to them, listen, okay, so you're gonna pay 30-year amortized interest at 6.25%, 7, whatever the rate is, right? It just depends. Yeah. And you got this 3.75, which by the way is going to continue. The savings rates are going to continue to go down every time the Fed cuts rates.
Right. Yeah, that money everybody's making on savings accounts right now. You can just bank on the fact that
pretty much gone.
But my point is so that's great that you're going to have that money sitting there, but it's costing you 2.5 to 3% after you factor in the tax difference. So the point I'm making is those clients, again, it is a cheat code, and our AIO product, which we have to have in.
What was that?
All in one.
All in one.
Yeah. So our all in one, it's such a game changer.
Yeah,
but my point is, we'll have to dive into that later. You talk about being an advisor.
That could be a whole episode.
I would tell you, if you're watching this right now, you are a consumer, you are a real estate agent, and your client's putting down 20%. They don't have to be rich. Do they got good net cash flow? 1, maybe some savings on the side. Part 2. They should be talking to one of us 3 or your favorite North Point Bank loan officer, because I promise you, if this program fits, it's a deal killer. It's over.
There's nothing close to it.
Yeah, it's
over. But we'll
Mount
again,
Funmore.
that is a conversation for another one. But you've been warned.
So
Mount Funmore.
Another interesting conversation. So a young LO who is about to join our group soon.
Let's go. No names mentioned, but let's go.
No names mentioned. We were having a conversation, and it was kind of funny because he was bashing another loan officer's advice that was given to someone, and I actually agreed with the other loan officer that he was talking about.
Okay.
The reason being is because the guy that bought this house already had $100,000 that he was investing in the market. So clearly this guy, like, that is part of what he does with his money that's not tied into his equity, right? He was saying that he was like, the guy should have put 20% down because he had all this money and it would have saved him the PMI. And I said, well, hold on. First of all, it depends on, this, it depends on DTI and credit. What was his PMI cost? Because it's probably, based on what you told me, I bet his credit's good. I bet it wasn't that expensive. Let's say he got 6.5%. Let's say he got a 7% rate. I was like, I manage my own money in the market. I can tell you that my return on my accounts is 200+%. Now, that's like compounded over time because I've been holding positions for like 4 or 5 years, right? But like, obviously my return, and the average return on the S&P is like 10%. It's like 8 or 9%, right? But I was explaining to him, I said, well, it's not only, so first of all, that's called interest arbitrage. It's costing me 7%, but I'm making 10. There's a 3% net there. But it's even more important than that. That money is liquid. I would have to either refi or sell my house to get access to that.
Yeah.
I don't need to do that in the stock market. I can sell it, pull it out, and it's mine, right? And even that is still tailored to, I would only think that way if I'm looking at this guy's situation, I'm going, dude, you're already, like, now if I thought the guy was just going to sit that money in cash and do nothing.
That's what I was going to say.
Then yeah, obviously he needs to put it down because he needs to save on the interest, because his game plan is getting out of, he's playing more defense, right? He's trying to get out of that, which is fine.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
That's a philosophy, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
But clearly that guy's philosophy, he believes in investing.
Yeah.
So why would you not encourage or empower him to continue doing that by giving the advice of, hey, you have demonstrated you have the ability to get better returns in the market than the savings you would get on the interest in the PMI.
Yeah. Definitely, but also
different conversation.
Also goes back to that's why you asked that payment, because if the payment hits the threshold and 10% is the number, like why put the extra money down? Why not keep your liquid access?
If like that legitimately conversation yesterday, Dad, gift funds right now are very prevalent. We know that. Right. Like mom and dads are helping out a lot right now, and it's pretty cool. I actually love seeing it, man. It makes me inspired for what's going on right now.
I'm jealous.
I'm jealous too. Sorry.
I asked a lady if she wanted to adopt me the other day because she was giving her daughter $250,000.
No, I was literally, so yesterday, conversation, $250. $250. No, I mean, like, Amy, one of my awesome realtors, Amy, sent me over a client that she's getting $250,000 from dad or whatnot. And I was like, cool. I was like, well, what's your payment goals? Again, payment goals, right? And she was like, oh, if I could just keep it at $3,500 or less. And
$3,500 with $250
I'm like buying like a $500,000. And I was like, so I said, well, let me ask you a question real quick. And not to rehash it, but we went back into that whole $250 thing. And she was like, I was like, we don't have to spend all $250. Would you rather put that down and get
In
like a lower
cash.
payment, or would you rather put some of that, fix the house up, stay cash strong, do this, keep your payment 30? She goes, you can keep my payment $3,500 and give me money back, and I can do other stuff with it. Great. I was like, I got you. So
Bingo.
Anyhow, that's just kind of those are some of the small things.
Yeah.
But
And with that client, I had the exact same conversation. I said, you need to talk to mom, because if you're good, so mom's just really focused on payments, which is whatever, right? Like the borrower, I actually think was cool with where we had it. Yeah. And I said, well, why don't you talk to mom and see if she just really wants to give you that money to make you comfortable. Maybe you tell her it'd be nice to have like 30, 40 grand of that like in cash. I mean, it's a conversation. If she really wants to give it to you to help you, then ask her. Yeah. She ended up saying she just wanted it all to go. The mom wanted it all to go there. Just respect it. Hey, you're the one writing the $250,000 check. You tell me where it's going. Right. But I at least proposed the idea and I could tell she was like, oh, yeah, I guess I could do that. And I'm like, yeah, you could. Yeah. I mean, it's not. There's no right or wrong. I always say there's no right or wrong way to do anything. It's just. What's your philosophy on how you manage your money?
I think a lot of this goes back to, we're talking, this is called I care. This is called we care, right? That's all that is. Like, do you understand how simple it would be for us just to take orders and be like, cool, are you putting down 200? All right, cool. Here's your mortgage. Let's go. Listen.
The time I would say
I promise you, if I was
save me a lot of time.
Think about with the amount of volume that we're closing, it would be super nice just to be like, cool. I got it. All right, you're approved. Go ahead. But it's not about that. And we, I think the people that know us, that's watching this, that if you're, seeing us right now, we're three dudes. We're fathers. We call ourselves we care. It's our culture, right? It's the St. Matthews North Point Bank culture. It goes beyond that. It's our brotherhood, and we got and brotherhood and sisterhood, because we got some awesome female loan officers. But between us three, though, we talk a lot about culture. And just caring. There's no one that's ever, listen, there's a lot of things you could probably say about me, especially after 5 bourbons, right? If I've fallen asleep in the front of your car or fallen asleep in the hotel lobby or something, there's probably a few things you could say about me.
Fell asleep on the hotel fountain outside.
Moving on. But moving on.
T-Bone.
But
I'm going to find that picture.
But the one thing you can never say about us three, and I was going to say about myself, but us three
our whole organization, top to bottom, I would say pretty much every LO in
our ability
team.
to care.
Yeah.
Like the ability to care. And it's like, man, when I go do something and I trust in someone that's doing something that they're paid to do, not me, I want to see that same level of care. And I think that's what separates us as an organization, our St. Matthews
shout out
office.
to our ops team too, and our closing department.
No question.
They talk about caring.
Yeah.
You all hear me talk about it all the time. We are the best people.
It's just the culture, man.
But we also take care of, and I really do think it's a big piece of it. Like, if we're winning, they're winning.
1,000%.
Right?
Yeah.
And they know that.
Yeah.
So they're like, we know they're going to take care of us. Even when times were tough, I was still, the people that were getting bonused out of my, this is not from the company. This is coming out of my paycheck.
Yeah.
That after, long story short, even when we changed comp and did all these things, I was still paying him because I'm my LOA, because I'm like, he's the best in the world. We're in this together. If shit's not going good, it's not going good.
Yeah. It ain't going good for you.
It ain't
or
good
me.
for everybody.
Yeah.
Same when it's going great. When it's going great,
no doubt.
If we ain't
you're
eating,
gonna
mama
eat
ain't
too.
eating.
Yeah, you're gonna eat too. And that's just my way of showing them that I believe in them and I trust them and how much I value everything that they do, because they don't get. We get all the good job, Jesse.
We
good
get
job,
all the
Chad.
glory,
all the numbers and the awards and all that stuff.
Yeah.
They don't get that. So the least we could do.
At least
is let them
No,
know.
for sure.
Well, listen, it's a testament, man. We had,
And that's why we don't have
what
turnover.
we had 9 people do over $1 million. 9 of our, I think,
crazy.
15 loan officers did over $1 million in September. You heard me.
Nuts.
We had
6 that did over 2.
6 over 2 million. And guess what? Guess what most of those did this week? And it doesn't need to be. It's not anything broadcast or anything specific as far as numbers, or whatever. Guess what? You know what? They showed a little love to their ops team. Showing a little bonus love or some shout outs or whatever. And it's just, sometimes they don't even have to be monetary. Sometimes it's just a thank you. And I think and Jesse's big on this, and I think we all harp on it. Jesse does a lot as well. Is we want our ops team to know they are the best in the world. This does not happen without them. But we also make it known to like, and you know, our ops leader actually came back from our summit. I thought that was real cool. And
I did too.
Valerie came back, and she's our ops leader, man. And she, you know, she's been in the game for a minute, and there's no one better than that woman in this world. But she did get a little piece on what it's like to what the loan officers do go through to bring in business, right? And that you know, like. We do get all the kudos, but listen, at the end of the day,
deal with all the bullshit.
They don't have jobs or close loans without the deals we're bringing in. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, but you know, I'll talk to this. You know, man, the culture is like, if someone has been doing this for so long, and Tyler, I think you're the better testament from this. You came in, you were at one place, and now you literally said to me the other day, I can't imagine working anywhere else. And I said,
Jersey aside, the group,
and I said, you know, that's what I'm talking.
Yeah, like we could be called or whatever.
Like, listen,
North Point Bank is the greatest platform in the world,
but take out North Point.
Around.
Yeah, but I'm saying like, but the people make the organization, right? Like, and that's not just our group. That's our. I was telling Amy Butler yesterday, like she sent me a really nice email about the month I had, and I was like, you know, we can't do this. You guys do such a good job,
right?
Of putting us in a position to win, but it's top down. And it starts with Chuck. Like,
Chuck Williams,
incredible guy.
We'll be dropping that one here in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Shout out to the owner, CEO, president,
but man,
chairman of the board.
Yeah,
Chaz Williams.
Speaking of Chaz,
Michael Chaz.
Speaking of Chaz, has been doing 100 push-ups a day. Boys,
yeah.
It's up to 100 now.
Oh, okay. I thought it was 50. So it was 50. Now it's 100.
Oh no, it goes up every month. So it was 95. It was 90. It was 100.
Good for him.
Man's pumping out 100
He
push-ups.
looks great, man. He had lost so much weight.
I love it, man. There's so many people right now focused on health and stuff right now, trying to like just get in shape, whatever way they're doing it.
But okay, so that's another thing that I actually love about our group is how many people, so one, have been doing 48-hour fasts because of you.
Yeah.
How many people in our office have done 75 hard?
Because of you.
That to me speaks more volumes about who we are than all the volume and units and
it's
just empowering other people.
It's a family.
Like,
come on, man.
It's so cool.
Listen, we don't have to go like again. You and I just had this conversation yesterday as we were kind of getting ready for this. On we don't need to come to the office.
No,
like I don't. And listen, I love working from home 2 or 3 hours. I have an empty house. Like my kids are gone, so I don't have any. Like they're gone, so I can work from home and be 85% efficient. I'm not gonna say 100%. I can be 85 to 90, pretty damn efficient, right? So I do like to work from home in there. I love coming to the office still. Like I'll work from home. I'll be work. I'm gonna work till 10 o'clock. I still want to get to the office because I want to come in there and feel it. I want to talk. I want to hear it. Hell, I might even come in there and put my hood up, put my AirPods in. But I just want to see people walking because somebody's gonna come over and say something to me that at some point during the day I'm gonna laugh. I'm gonna we're gonna dap up each other. We're gonna throw a football. We're gonna do something. And it's like, man, listen. You do this long enough, you better find something else other than just a love for talking on the phone and mortgages because. And I love it. We love it. It's in our fabric. But you better have other things that you can love about what you do, right?
Yes.
Because if you don't, it gets real lonely.
Man.
Whoa, this is where I wanted to go. He's going.
Uh-oh.
Thank God. We're in the office. Because the last time you were at home for an extended period of time, you got to a dark.
You got that right, boy.
Bill Willoughby will not be okay if you go back to the dark place. So keep coming to the office at least 3
Billy, badass. Boom. You got that.
No, you're not.
Woo! Oh, Billy's back. No.
Hey, you're not wrong though. In all seriousness, like I'll tell you, I'm talking about more efficient, fellas. There was never a more efficient time in my life than I was working from St. Matthews at my office. Shelly Cronin would bring over the coffee to my office 2 doors over. I was never more efficient. But I'm gonna be real with y'all. I'll take 75% efficient. When you talk about efficient, like I'm efficient with computers at the office.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the people. Hey, did you watch that last night? Hey, can you answer this question? What about this loan?
Can you look at this loan for me?
And here's the thing. I'll take 75% efficient to have the energy.
Yeah.
Having you guys around at the office, having Lindsay pop in and having whoever pop in and ask questions. I feed off that, and that's what I think is one of our strengths for sure.
Well, and I get energy out of like helping other people solve problems or like just empowering them to make the phone call. Like, hey, you're scared of, just call them, say this, and I promise you it'll be fine. They go do it. They come back and they're like, "Oh my god, like,
it worked out so
it
great.
was so great. Like they were so excited about it." I'm like, "That's all you had to do."
Yeah,
you know,
Hold on,
but like
you can waive escrows?
But but like, and here's the thing, like I do the same thing. I come talk to Jesse, I come talk to you, and I'm like, oh, I gotta make this tough phone call, and you're like, it's not that, like we all go through it. Like it's not everyone goes.
Listen,
through
if you
it,
work in the mortgage industry as
And
a
if you
loan
care.
officer, you are going to question yourself at
Yes.
some point about it. Could be the dumb. Like we got our North Point phone a friend chat, right? So one of the cool things I think that we have is that we literally have a text chat that's available 7 days a week. Throw out a text question, throw out a scenario, throw out something, boom, somebody's going to answer. I mean, every now and then, listen, I feel like I know quite a bit about certain things, but every now and then things change, or I just have a brain fart, man, and it's kind of like, wait a second. What was that rule on that? And somebody
I just
kind of
hear you
answered me
over the
like,
divider, you're like-
it's been that way since 2005, bro. And I'm like, oh man, you know.
I hear you over the
just
divider.
make-
You're like, Tyler, this is right? I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, okay, cool.
Hey, well, you know what? I'm not. I ain't no sucker, man. I'd rather listen.
I'd rather ask.
I'd rather ask
Yeah.
and be right, and
Yeah.
and take a little less pride because I didn't know as much than be wrong, man. Like,
Well, and also
you could be wrong. There ain't nothing with being wrong.
I
as long
also
as you
think
admit
too
it.
that, like, you know how sometimes you've just looked at something so long, like you can only see it one way, and then somebody else comes and looks at it completely objective, and they're like, "Oh, why don't you just," which is what I feel like he does all the time, and I'm like,
Yeah.
duh, like, but because I was so focused on trying to make it fit a certain box or like do it a certain way that I never stopped to think like, oh yeah, like what if I don't do this and I do that, or they get a cosigner and we get a gift, and like simple stuff. And it's like I spend an hour and then I make the phone call and I'm like, hey, can you get a cosigner? And they're like, oh yeah, my dad said he'd do it. And I'm like, I just spent an hour trying to do financial
That's the
gymnastics and I could have just called you.
That's why sometimes y'all hear me say this all the time, like run to the problem head on. It sucks. I hate, like, y'all know this.
Just get it over
I'm the
with.
worst
Yeah.
I'm the worst at turning.
Rip that Band-Aid off.
Rip it off.
You really are. You hate conflict.
I do, but you know what? If you run to it
Oh boy.
and get it out of the way, I mean, it's literally the best thing you can do. And you find out that I can get a $200,000 gift.
Yeah.
My mom and dad will co-sign. This.
It's
that.
rarely
It's
as
like,
serious as you think it is.
No.
That's the one thing I have.
Well, I tell people all the time, guys, and I mean this sincerely. Like, nothing that we do, it's serious, right? We're dealing with their greatest asset financially, but it's not life or death. And if we do our jobs and we put the client's needs first, and we're constantly making sure that we're working hard to meet the deadlines, everything else works out. And so at the end of the day, like, you know the old saying that my dad used to say, and it's hard to like really grasp this and live by it, but I try to live by it. You've got to take stress out of your vocabulary, because if you control what you can control, you can't control what you can't control, so you can't stress out about what you can't control. So I said that wrong, but yeah,
It's okay, we got
I'm
it.
not
Okay,
gonna
we
re-
get the point.
But my point is if
Well,
you take care
Matthew
of what you're allowed to take, if
puzzle.
you take care of what you're supposed to take care of, the rest is noise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing about leaving at 5:15, 5:30. I heard something great the other day on a podcast. You got to have bookends. So, if you start your day in the morning like we do, you start early, you get rolling, you get caught up when everybody else is sleeping, and you shut it down at 5:15 or whatever, 5 o'clock, 5:30. You go coach, you go hang out with your kids, and that's not saying we're not going to send a text or whatever, right? To follow up to a client, but you turn it off because guess what? At 4 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning the next day, you can solve those same problems.
I've started leaving my phone in the kitchen.
Ain't no 3 or 4 o'clock on this side of the fence.
Well, we know that, coach. We know.
Hey,
that.
5:36. I'm a 5:36
But
kind of
you
guy.
you also
I
be
work
somebody
late,
that
though.
will work late.
I work
though.
late.
Like, that's your vibe.
I'm a damn
Like,
night owl.
Yeah, which
man.
is fine.
So,
Like,
so I'll be
thing.
sending. If you see emails coming at
Yeah.
10:30, 11 o'clock at night, don't be surprised.
It's the same thing.
He probably got to see the end of that Rams game last night. I saw that too.
Was there a football game last night?
Oh,
See, I didn't even- I was out.
Did you not see what happened?